We have about 3.5 more hours to wait before our bus leaves to Juarez, and it's an 8.5 hour bus ride. Got some first class seats that recline all the way back, so we plan to sleep overnight on the bus to Juarez. It's 6 a.m. and hotel providing us some nice coca tea. So it has these leaves, these coca leaves that you put in, supposed to help with adjusting to the altitude. As we sit here, it's really quiet morning, so I'm being quiet, but the view is amazing. From our little hotel room in Juarez, while we rest for one day, Libby heals her nasty blister, and I heal some hellacious bug bites. So this is our last beer, alcohol, whatever for the next week. We're going to be taking a 7-day trek.
So Scott's trying to kill me, so just so you all know, my life insurance has been updated. He's not the beneficiary.
We're taking the Santa Cruz Trek, and we're going to climb a mountain called Pisco, Nevado. We have briefing in about 45 minutes. We're grabbing a beer and dinner. We're going to brief and then go sleep. The real bummer, we're kind of bummed out, is we only get 5 kilograms of gear.
That's nothing when you're going into really cold weather and hiking the mountains. That's nothing.
So what we carry on our back, plus they'll put 5 kilograms on a donkey, which is just a tiny bit, you know, maybe a few changes of clothes, and that's it. And we have a lot of stuff to kind of make it up there. We're sleeping in tents every night, and it'll be interesting. You won't hear from us either because there's no Wi-Fi or cell or anything.
Yeah, no electricity. No showers for a week. Gonna smell really good when we get back.
Just hiking and climbing mountains in a beautiful, most beautiful area of the world.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you posted when we get back.
Ciao. We're starting our 7-day trek in a town called Cachapampa.
Still alive.
Yeah, we've been hiking for like 30 seconds.
Yep.
Just starting.
So this is our camp for the night.
This is our camp for the night. So day 1, we drove for 3.5 hours from Juarez to Cachapampa. Cachapampa is at 2,900 meters. And from there we hiked along the Santa Cruz Trail all the way up a canyon to a place called Llama Corral. And Llama Corral's elevation is 3,760 meters. Starting day 2.
Yay.
We're at 12,500 or something and moving up to 14,000 something feet. That's the valley behind us. We walked, headed there. So on day 2, we woke up early in the morning and we hiked from Yamacarel at 3760 meters straight up the canyon. And we went past 2 lakes. Even in the dry season, there's a lot of water in them, very beautiful lakes. And we kept descending up the canyon the entire time. And then after lunch, we took a sidebar and went all the way up to this lake that actually has chunks of ice, icebergs floating in it. It's called Laguna or Huaycocha, and it's all the way up at 4,420 meters. Good day? Worth the hike? After that, we came back down and we cut over to our camp at Tualipampa. Tualipampa is at 4,250 meters, and that's where we camped at the end of day 2. So on day 3, we left Tualipampa, which is just a beautiful campground surrounded by snowy peaks, almost 360 degrees. We woke up early again at sunrise and started hiking up the mountain and made our way zigzag to Punta Union. Punta Union is at 4,750 meters, hard hike about 5 kilometers up, and then a very steep descent all the way down. It's day 3. We're hiking up Punta Union Pass, which is behind us, and we've been hiking for 1 hour this morning. It's 9:30 in the morning on day 4 of our Santa Cruz Trek. That's Javier. He's been with us the entire 4 days. Right, Ben? Yeah. Oh yeah. This is our group. The entire group's loaded up into a van, and we are headed out of Vaqueria to some other place where we start our hike to base camp. And the rest of this group, they get to go home
And shower.
They all get to shower. Yeah, it's the end of day 4, but we have 3 more days.
Yeah.
Yay. We stopped the van with the Santa Cruz crew. And here's the range. This is the mountain we're going to climb tomorrow night. We'll leave at midnight tomorrow night.
Definitely not taking a bath in this. Oh, man, that's cold. Whew.
The difference between a llama and an alpaca, I think that is a llama and that's an alpaca. This is the same tent we've been sleeping in every night.
On the ground.
They have these cushy little green pads that insulate you, but they're not very comfortable. We have sleeping bags that are rated to 15 below 0 Celsius, which is like 8 above Fahrenheit. Last night was really cold. Last 2 nights were so cold. Inside of the tent had frost on it in the morning. So we get boiling water from the Nalgene bottle.
Yep, and then put it in our sleeping bag to help us stay warm. And to keep our phone warm, our batteries warm, headlamps, everything that will die.
And it's going to be really nice tonight because we'll probably stay above freezing all night.
But we don't sleep anyway, so what does it matter?
This is our wonderful tent.
Yay.
In our view. Wow, I look like hell. It is the morning of day 5. And Libby and I are we're having some hot cocoa tea in our tent. Today is the last hike to base camp. We'll hike 3.5 hours from here at like 12,500 feet to base camp at 15 something, which is a lot of elevation in 3.5 hours. It seems like it's gonna be pretty steep.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult.
Hiking up to base camp, and we're looking at the ridgeline we have to make in the next couple of hours. Up behind me, that waterfall. Summit towards base camp. We just came over that big valley behind us, and in front of us base camp is down there in that little valley, and then we will be ascending this trail tonight at midnight until we get to the glacier, and then we climb the glacier. Well, you can't see the top because it's covered in clouds, but the top's up there. We are at base camp.
Oh, above base camp.
Pisco Base Camp has this like big rock-looking building. It's Italian-owned refuge. It's a refugio, and
You can actually stay here. There's heat.
I don't know how you'd get here other than hiking the way we did, or we're like 15,600 feet or something like that. But it's this really cool building. We're finishing rigging all of our stuff. Okay. We're gonna get some rest, eat an early dinner, then sleep, and then at midnight we'll start our ascent. From base camp, we will be climbing to the top of this mountain. Pisco.
Pisco Mountain. In Quechua, it's Pisco, meaning bird.
Meaning what?
Bird.
Oh,
Yeah, looks like a bird, no?
I guess.
Yeah.
We just had an avalanche. Is it a rock slide or avalanche? That's a full-on avalanche.
Okay, I think.
Down that chute.
Maybe it's behind this hill, no?
Oh.
Yeah, in the...
So we're headed up this trail here over the ridge. And we'll be on the back side of this mountain. We'll end up coming up on the ridge right about here from the back side, and then we'll ascend to the peak. Not sure how windy it'll be. So here we are in the middle of day 5, and we started this morning in Cebolla Pampa at 3,900 meters, or just under 13,000 feet. And this morning we hiked straight up a pretty steep terrain to base camp just below Refugio, Peru. So right now we're sitting at base camp at 4665 meters, or 15,301 feet. We're just got done figuring out our rigging, gonna have some food, sleep for a few hours, and wake up at midnight. And then at midnight we're gonna hike straight up the mountain.
No, don't do it.
And around it and up to Pisco mountain, very backside, an elevation of 5752, or 18,866. And that's what we're doing tonight at midnight. It should take us 10 hours to get to the top.
Come on. Vamos.
1 a.m. It's time to go. Climbing that mountain, babe. You ready?
I guess.
Alright, Liz is going with the guide straight down the freaking rocky moraine. And she has to grab onto a chain. Get way down there. It's almost straight down. I can't go. As I'd kick a rock down on her. I have to wait for them to go. This is just to get to the ice part.
People leave their poles.
It's about 5 a.m. We've been hiking since 1:20, and we got to the glacier edge. This is where we start the ascent with technical gear.
It looks frightening.
It's been very, very difficult so far. Big loose moraine rocks, very steep.
The night, no?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Things, no, we go up, we will see.
Okay.
The cold is when the ridge is begin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Pisco Summit, no?
Oh,
We can arrive there.
to the ridge line? To the ridge line?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
in darkness. We had to step over this crevasse right here. Don't want to fall in. Lily's on rope next. And then our guide, Gustavo. Is being belayed all the way down.
This is what we climbed down last night. That's a chain. Goes all the way down. Scotty's down there. Let me tell you, this was the most difficult day of my life. It's very loose dirt and rocks too. Doesn't make it any easier.
I just didn't have a lot of energy, you know. Well, we're back in our tent after probably the longest day of hiking and climbing that either of us have ever had in our life.
To say the least, honestly.
The mountain won this time. So we're sitting in our tent at base camp, and it's been snowing off and on since we got back. We left at a little after 1 in the morning and got back at like 11:30 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah.
It was really tough, and the only thing, you're gonna see the video, the only thing that we didn't video was these huge boulders. It's like a huge river valley of just dirt and boulders, which is a moraine that it's a glacier underneath, and it just pushes through. So all the rocks are loose, and hiking over them is very challenging. It's like a breakwater at the ocean, those types of boulders, but they're all loose and rolling around, and sometimes very, very high up. So you don't want to take a misstep, or you're gonna pay for that. And
at one point we were on a ridge with a drop off of just solid black, because of course we left at midnight or 1 o'clock, so it's super dark outside. So if you turn your headlamp just a little to the left or a little to the right, it's just solid black for as far as you could see. It was very scary.
I think the most challenging part about it, in addition to the weather, was that most of today's hike and climb, one misstep could cost you your life, especially once we got to the glacier and we're hiking on a glacier and climbing. So yeah.
With an ice axe.
We
had the ice axe.
The crampons were good, ice axe was good, we had a good guide, but the weather just came in, you couldn't see a thing. It was whiteout conditions, and
it hurt. It was blowing so hard.
We're like an hour behind schedule just getting to the glacier because we were slow on the moraine, and then the weather came in, and there's just no way we were gonna make it all the way to the summit. I guess we could have, but you wouldn't have seen anything.
We couldn't have. Let's be honest.
It would have been late.
We couldn't have.
It would have taken us a while.
We could not have summited this at all. It just was not in us, and that's okay. It was an adventure. The glacier is beautiful. Stepping over a crevasse that just is never ending is quite frightening, but beautiful at the same time. So it was definitely an adventure that I will not be taking again.
So that was Pisco. Peace out, Pisco. Yesterday we left base camp at Pisco on the other side of this refugio. We ended up hiking up that trail over the ridge and then through this glacier moraine, which was really difficult and rocky, on up to the glacier, put on our crampons and all that stuff. We actually went up that col up there to the ridge line, and we did not make the summit. Can't see the summit here.
Yeah, still can't see it.
It's the last day. It's day 7 of our trip. Libby's eating an orange, and we are sitting at the side of a lake called Laguna 69. It's actually a really popular day hike, so there's always a lot of people here. The lake itself has an amazing turquoise color.
You can't even describe it. It's just so beautiful.
And it changes as the clouds come, obviously. When the sun hits it, it's really beautiful. Right now, the sun's hitting most of the lake. So after our little snack, we hiked back, I don't know, was it a couple hours or something?
I don't know.
We didn't come from there. We came from Pisco Base Camp, but we hiked over the summit, and then we go back to Cebolla Pampa, where we pick up a van back to Juarez. Last day.